There we go. It's 70 degrees out this weekend. If you don't go outside, you're an asshole. But no matter where you are, the time is now. Sack tap o'clock. A fresh flick to your ear testicles starts right now.
You're listening to the Savage Sack Tap. It's not a podcast, it's not a half-cast, it's just a quick shot to the balls to help you finish off the week. We're cutting through the bullshit, filling your Friday with rage-fueled logic, and cracking a few jokes along the way. So grab a bag of frozen peas. There's a Savage Sack Tap coming your way.
Smooth, lascivious, salacious, outrageous.
Well, hey there, hi there, ho there, motherfuckers. I am Mike Montone. This is the Savage Sack Tap. It is a very nice day out, and if I've been working out outside like every day, because it was pouring the other day, so that sucks. So I stayed inside. I used if you've never done it before, go on YouTube and check out how to use a foam roller to do burpees. It's a lot better on your shoulders. There's a lot less impact, and it's a much better, smoother movement. And you can actually do some cool shit. So I was doing burpees into like an overhead squat with my foam roller, and then back down, and I knocked out. It was like 100 total reps of burpees with set of everything else in between. So I did some some tempo squats, pike push-ups, just all sorts of shit because I had to be stuck inside. But yeah, I've been working out outside a lot more lately, and I know I tend to harp on things. And one of the things I've been harping on during this social distancing is just how great it is to be out and see like some chick with just a big fat ass out for like a run or a jog or walking her dogs, because this is usually, and today is the first 70-degree day, this is usually May 2nd I'm recording this on, sundress season in America, and what we're typically treated to when the world is not kind of crammed inside is just an absolute sea of like milky thighs, cleavage, and of course the possibility of a wind-assisted upskirt, which is one of nature's great delights. And you can't. It's not a Me Too, by the way, because I was thinking about this before. I was thinking about the morality of if you've been out in like Midtown Manhattan ever during the spring, you've certainly seen this when just like a big gust of wind blows some chick's fucking sundress up, and you get that like split-second glimpse of thonged ass cheek. It's an absolute delight, and I don't know that we can count it as a Me Too because it's accidental. It's nature doing it. You can't. I don't know if we can we Me Too Mother Nature? First of all, it's a chick. Secondly, it's beyond our control. It is as beyond our control as the coronavirus was. Yeah. So I don't know. I would be interested to hear opinions on that. I'm leaning towards no. It's the wind. You didn't do it. You're not fucking creeping around. Like when I was in Milan a couple years ago, and there was this fucking guy who was so clearly attempting to take upskirts of chicks. Like there's this spot where everyone just kind of sits in the plaza, the piazza, and this fucking guy would just like every like hot chick that was wearing some kind of like short or skirt. This fucking creep would just like sit in like the direct vicinity of, at an angle where if he was looking behind himself, he would definitely be able to get a nice upskirt going. So I am convinced that this motherfucker was fucking sneaking and creeping around Milan using some sort of little like hidden camera device to take pictures up chick skirts. But no, I think if the wind blows, like does the old the Marilyn Monroe, like that famous picture where she's standing on the subway grate and she just gets like a fucking burst of air up her cooch, I feel like that's is that still fair play, or is in 2020 is that out? That's like if John Hamm is walking down the street after a jog, and he's got like a tight pair of joggers on, and it starts to rain a little bit, and it presses down around his fucking hog, and you see an outline of John Hamm's dick. You didn't Me Too him. You just saw some big meaty cock. But chicks love the springtime. It's great. It's just fantastic. I think that's actually why Easter baskets often include like little chick candies, because even the fucking Easter bunny knows that chicks love the springtime. They start getting tan. They can hang out outside drinking White Claw on the beach. They are sick of the fucking loser that they got stuck with during cuffing season. It's got to be right around the first 70-degree day that reality starts creeping in, that his dad bod was kind of cute on NFL Sundays, when it's like, what are we going to do? We're going to hang out, we're going to watch football, we're going to eat queso, and we're going to drink beer, So having a kind of out-of-shape, slovenly oaf around actually makes them feel better about themselves. And he's wearing a hoodie and stuff. You can't really see his fucking his hair covered beer belly. And it's autumn. Who no one cares about. A lot of civilians don't give a shit about their body in fucking autumn. Chicks don't want to be alone for the holidays. So like, all right, I'll see it. You settle down with the guy. He's got a nice and snuggly just fucking mound of body fat there that you can rest your head on while you're binging Parks and Rec together in February. But then, around this time of year, where it's, like I said, first 70-degree day, all of a sudden, she realizes that this fucking chump is going to be just a complete embarrassment to be seen with on the beach. Look around on the beach. You do not see a lot of really hot chicks with great bodies, with like oafish, slovenly, disgusting guys, or like dad bod guys. For the most part, you will see hot chicks with great bodies with dudes who are in very good shape. The exception, I would say, of course, is the sort of Tony Soprano thing, where it's clearly, yeah, he's a big overweight dude, but first of all, he just looks like a physically powerful motherfucker. He happens to have just, perhaps a few too many plates of rigatoni, but he could still fuck some shit up, and he's probably hauling in some decent coin, so he's a man of great achievement and intimidation, and of course that gets the panties nice and wet as well. I would say that's one of the big, and of course, yeah, there's always the offensive lineman corollary to that as well, right? If you're a stud left tackle, okay, you might be obese, but one, you're also probably muscular as fuck, and two, you're like an athletic dude. You're a fucking savage. You're a fucking left tackle. You better be a fucking savage. So you could probably pull some puss that way. But your average dad bod motherfucker who skated through the cold season, getting by on being able to just wear a couple extra layers and binge watch shit and order Seamless with some chick who is just too lazy to go outside. Your days are numbered, hombre. Better start getting those Bumble lines warmed up. But yeah, she doesn't want to be seen on the beach with that disgusting oaf. So they go out, they jog a little bit more, they throw on a sundress every day for work. They're hoping the guy with the kettlebell and the tub of muscle milk on his desk will bend them over and give them a nice firm spanking. That's what they want, and it is just a scene that plays out every day of the spring and summer on the streets of Manhattan. Sundresses as far as the eye can see. They emerge with the first 70-degree day of the spring, like the swallows of Capistrano, really. And by the way, before you accuse me of objecting women, you have to. They do the same shit to us. Like I said, the John Hamm example. Remember when that picture went viral of just fucking John Hamm's cock fucking bulging through his pants as he was walking down the street, and every chick was sharing it and like, yeah, look at that fucking meat. Yeah, chicks love a good bulge. They love a nice set of glutes, some pecs fucking sticking out of a V-neck. They love that fucking shit. We're all getting fucked by COVID-19. We are all, everyone, male, female, she-male, everywhere in between we're getting fucked out of this absolutely glorious month of heightened sexual appetites because of the COVID-19. It is just absolutely not fair. But thank you. On that note, thank you to the frontline workers who are working hard to get us back to drinking and fucking under the summer sun. Because I think that's where we all want to be, right? I'm predicting, based on what I've seen on Twitter and Instagram, people talking about just wanting to get out there and fucking plow. I am predicting a huge spike in pregnancies and STDs after the COVID-19 goes away. Hold me to it. Speaking of STDs, PrEP commercials might be one of the funniest fucking things on TV right now. They are very much, and it's PrEP, and there's one more, I forget what it's called, but they're the same thing. They're like the HIV prevention medications. If you watch like a Viagra commercial, and it's a couple, and it's being implied that thanks to Cialis, this in-shape fucking old guy will have no problem boning his equally old but somehow. So you take the reality of that commercial, because that's what's going on. That's what Cialis is for. Cialis is exactly prescribed for being able to plow your old wife in a fucking, a beachfront bed and breakfast. You go away on the old 50th wedding anniversary. The old schlong doesn't get quite as turgid as it used to anymore. So you pop a Cialis and you have a nice little weekend. They have successfully marketed Cialis to you. Well, they're doing the exact same thing with PrEP. And what I love is that they're giving very, very polished versions of gay stereotypes. Like, yeah, sure, Orlando may be like a fit, flamboyant twink, but he's also very proud of the work that he's been doing in the community. And they'll show like a clip of him being honored at an awards show, like he's getting a trophy and giving an acceptance speech, and then they cut to a scene where he's eating chips and dip with two men and they're giving each other flirtatious looks, and you're like, I get it. They're going to have unprotected anal sex later, because this is, after all, a PrEP commercial, and what does PrEP do? It prevents the spread of HIV. And how, you may be asking, does HIV spread? Well, it spreads through unprotected anal. So what the marketing gurus behind PrEP commercials have to do, because they can't show unprotected anal on cable TV. I mean, would that they could, right? Am I right? What they have to do is imply that the guys you're seeing on screen engage in a lot of unprotected anal, and that they're taking PrEP to avoid spreading HIV. So you'll see, like, there's like a jacked black guy working out. I think he's doing like sprints on a track. What they're trying to tell you, if you're a muscular black gentleman, is that, hey, do that workout, find a nice guy, have unprotected anal, but don't be afraid to ask your doctor about PrEP, so you can prevent the spread of HIV. And they got it all. They have like there's like two muscular white dudes sitting on a dock gazing longingly into each other's eyes. They're gonna bawl the fuck out of each other, but they're going to do it safely by taking PrEP. I do worry, though, that they're not hitting the entire gay community. I think, what I'd like to see out of a future PrEP commercial is like maybe a closeted Republican state representative from the deep South somewhere in a bathroom, and he's just fucking, he's spitting out mouthwash, and he's washing his fucking cock off with hot water while a handsome teenage boy smokes meth on the bed in their hotel room. Like, that, I feel like that's a massive market segment of the gay community, right? Closeted, powerful Southern men smoking meth and butt-fucking handsome teenage boys in discreet motel rooms. Those guys need to know that they can take PrEP to prevent the spread of HIV. Big market segment. So maybe I'll send this to the fine folks at who makes PrEP anyway. I feel like Pfizer makes everything. Is it Pfizer? Are they the ones? Kaiser Permanente. I don't know who makes fucking drugs. I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know shit. Don't listen to nothing I say should be taken too seriously. I feel like that is a a sort of a base value of this show. If I say it on here, don't take it too seriously. What you can take to the fucking bank is that the people I hate most during social distancing are the just stay inside dumbasses. It is just absolutely it's inhuman to stay inside for more. I don't know. Like, I've done, obviously when it's pouring fucking rain, I'm not going outside. But even then, like, if it's not like a bad storm, if you go for a run on a reasonably warm day when it's raining, it's really fucking nice. But yeah, obviously if it's pouring, I'll stay in. But there's just something weird. Like, you wake up and you realize that you've been in the apartment all day or whatever, and you're just like, fuck. Like, there's just something off about you physically as a human, I think, when you don't expose yourself to, like, sunshine, plants, and fresh air. Like, I really, really think that people are discounting the sort of human. I hate to use the word wellness because it's just such a douchey, like, influencer word, but the human, like, wellness element of overcoming whatever the fuck it is we're going through right now as a society. People really should be out. They say like 10 minutes underneath a tree is amazing for your brain and your mental health, I guess. I know I love doing yoga under a tree. I that sounds probably like, I mean, well, I am a fucking pothead, so I get away with that kind of shit. I was just smoking weed and listening to Tropical House. Yeah, the guys who do that do yoga, so fuck off. Get off my nuts. But even the worst fucking, like, federal prisoners, convicts, guys who have, like, eaten children and stuffed the remains under floorboards in their living rooms, when those guys get locked up, they still get an hour a day outside. So this idea where everyone has to stay in the fucking, don't go, just stay inside. Like, they're like this, like, scared, frantic, they have spent their life following every little fucking rule, the same, and I blame these people for a lot of shit. They're the same people who reminded the teacher to collect homework after like spring break or winter break or whatever, when you had a week off and everybody fucked the assignment off and didn't do it, but they're the only ones who did because they didn't have any fucking friends, so they stayed inside with their nerdy ass parents, fucking following rules and doing homework. So they get there on the first day of class and they're like, Miss Deek, you forgot to collect the assignment that was due, as everybody's walking out. And she's like, oh, stop. Oh, wait. Yep. Everyone, leave it on my desk as you walk out. And you're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Yeah. I hate them. They're not, first of all, they're not free thinkers, right? They have spent their entire lives simply trying to curry the favor of some sort of benevolent superior. Because what the deal is, they're so risk averse that they will, the first powerful person who comes along and says, do as I say and everything will be okay, they just cave to that immediately, right? That is, to them, that is the best course of action at all times. But you can respect people's space and physical health while still not locking yourself up and denying, like, the very real benefits of things like fresh air and exercise and even human contact. Like, I had, we called them social distancing beers a couple weeks ago. It was a nice day. Fucking couple buddies and I met up in a park. We stood 15 feet away from each other. We drank beers. It was lovely. And guess what? Neither of us has fucking coronavirus. It's literally exactly what we mean when we talk about things like individual freedom and personal responsibility, right? We will give you the freedom to be out and about while there is this virus going on that, of course, if everyone stayed inside, yes, we wouldn't have fucking viruses to deal with because no one would be spreading anything amongst each other. However, if we're going to have a reasonably a free society and live like human beings are supposed to live, then we have to give people the freedom to do that and go out and kind of police themselves. Which makes for a fantastic segue, I think, to our next topic. It's from an article from Oaf Nation, which, if you don't know what Oaf Nation is, it's Operator as Fuck Nation, and the article is titled "Quit Tomorrow," and I like that. It's because I love special operators. Like, I listen to Jocko Willing's podcast. I love Tim Kennedy goes on a lot. She goes on Rogan's show a lot. And I've read a number of books by SEALs and Army Special Forces guys. And there's a great one about Marine Corps First Recon in the Iraq invasion. And so many of those guys, they're free thinkers. Their brains work in these fascinating ways. And this article was written, like I said, by a former special operator for the website Operator as Fuck. And it's called Quit Tomorrow, and it's about overcoming the urge to quit while you're getting fucking smoked by a drill instructor. I guess he was a SEAL, so in the case of the SEALs, it would be whatever the SEAL instructors. I don't know what the fuck SEAL instructors are called. But getting smoked is basically in military schools when you're just getting put through a physical ringer. Be it the Marine Corps likes to make you run back and forth across like a searing hot parade deck, and then get down and do push-ups, and you'll walk around carrying your rifle with using one finger to hold the fucking charging handle back, and they have all sorts of little fucking games. As drill instructors are wont to say, I've got more fucking games than Milton Bradley. Getting smoked absolutely fucking blows. And like I said, every branch and every school of the military has their different way of getting smoked. You know, if you're a Marine, you went to Paris Island, then they get down there what's called sand pitted, and of course Marine recruits at San Diego and Paris Island get quarter decked, where they just have to do fucking burpees until the drill instructor gets tired. It's Quit Tomorrow. That mindset is about overcoming the desire to quit during a brutal training evolution and just telling yourself, all right, you know what, this does suck. I will quit tomorrow. Because tomorrow is almost here, so just get through this, and then you're free to quit tomorrow. And he's got this great quote, so I'm going to just read this word for word. I have it in my notes here. He says, "One of the ways we coped with this was to promise ourselves and each other that we would never quit in the middle of an evolution. If we did quit, it would be at the end of the day and once it was all over." And the bare bones sort of physical reality of this is that once the smoking is over, you'll be exhausted, but you're also going to be jacked up with fucking endorphins, and the pain part is over, and you're going to realize that pain you feel while you're getting fucking killed by your drill instructor or whoever's fucking murdering you at the time is only temporary. And if you don't quit during that once it is physically over, everything will be fine. And literally, that they can't fucking kill you. So they can push you to a fucking edge, but they're not going to kill you. They can't kill you. That is the fucking mindset. And slowly, what happens is, if you don't quit today, if you tell yourself, I want to quit, but you say, you know what, I'll quit tomorrow. And then the next day you say, you know what, I'm going to quit tomorrow. Eventually, if this repeats itself over and over again, you start to crave these fucking challenges. And in the Marine Corps, you do what's known as embracing the suck. Or as we like to say at the basic school, you have to become comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to, the human animal needs to be pushed beyond its fucking limits. Like, you can't, if you just sit inside like the stay inside people would like you to, and stay on a fucking couch and do that, and if we do that en masse as a fucking species, there is going to be a terrible ripple effect that we experience. And I know the coronavirus thing is bad, and it's sad that people's like grandparents are dying, and it sucks if you're a medical worker and you're like exposed to this shit. constantly, but you start looking at the the morbidity, the comorbidities for it, and you start seeing things like, all right, well, once you get past old age, what's the other big comorbidity for coronavirus? And it's obesity. I mean, it is literally people who are not going out and doing things to challenge themselves and break themselves physically are the ones who are suffering as a result of this. So I think there's something there. I think there's something to embracing the suck and going out and putting yourself through that physical challenge. I remember this guy at the basic school, one of the other lieutenants in my company, fell out of a forced march, and it was probably around this time of year, maybe, yeah, probably April, May. We had just come out of a week-long field exercise. Everyone was dehydrated. We're fucking tired. We're carrying a week's worth of fucking, like, wet gear and ammunition and shit in leftover ammo and stuff in our packs. And it was, you're fucking miserable. You got fucking, like, crotch rot going on between your legs because you've been walking around in wet camis and it's been fucking chafing and grinding. All you want to do, we think the field exercise is over. All we want to do is you want to get back in, get a nice meal, hot shower, and then it's usually come out of the field on like a Friday or Saturday. So you might go out in town, drink some brews and chase some pussy. But they surprised us as we were coming out of this field exercise with, I think it was about an 8-mile forced march, and a forced march is a regular hike speed for the Marine Corps is about 3 miles per hour with a 10-minute break every hour, every 3 miles. So basically, you'll hammer 3 miles in a little bit less than an hour, and then you'll rest for 10, get up and do it again. We did an 8-mile forced march at about a 4-mile pace with no break in between, and the instructors carry very light packs. Like, they don't carry all the shit that we do, because part of being an instructor at TBS, you want to be able to move around, you want to be able to an instructor needs to appear somewhat superhuman. So one of the ways they do that is by carrying very, very light packs so that their energy levels are considerably higher. Like, they can just throw all their shit in the truck. They don't need to carry it on foot like we do. But I remember this fucking guy fell out, and he said, "My body gave up on me." And the instructor looked at him and said, "No, you gave up on your fucking body." And that really resonated. Like, I still think about that a lot. Probably once a week, maybe more. I think about, like, being that guy and carrying the shame of giving up during that hike, and that having to go with that. Everyone else was fucking high. I mean, obviously, yes, a handful of people fell out. So this guy represents those fucking lieutenants who fell out of that hike. But the momentary pain, whatever it is, your feet, your knees, your fucking back, your thighs and your balls are chafing, and you're fucking thirsty, and it sucks. But it sucks for everybody. You keep going. Like, to carry the shame of everyone else finishing that hike, but you did less. You fell out. You quit on yourself in that moment. You decided not to quit tomorrow. The reason we do that shit in the Marine Corps, and it's weird. I've been thinking a lot about my time in the Marine Corps because I've just, social distancing shit. All you have is time to sit around and think. And I've been watching this Vietnam documentary on Netflix that's very good. And I always have a lot of military books and some of my old gears here. I've been thinking a lot about it, and it goes beyond the physical conditioning, and it's about putting yourself in a situation where you have two options. You can either quit, or you can focus on the immediate task at hand, which on a forced march is literally nothing more than taking the next step and the next, and literally only worrying about the next step and what is going on in front of your face. Like, if that becomes your focus, like, that is, it's the ability to have that focus when you are in just miserable fucking pain, and it sucks and it blows, that has made the Marine Corps so fantastic at winning battles in austere environments over the centuries, is because you have just legions of young fit motherfuckers who have said, okay, I will focus through this pain. I will focus through this discomfort. I remember being at OCS on our final field evaluation in fucking November in the Quantico Highlands. It's fucking like raining and 40 degrees, and you're laying down in a fucking prone position, waiting to do like an assault or a patrol or some shit. And the way to keep warm was to piss on yourself. It was like, you're already wet. You're already wet and cold, so a little more water is not going to do shit. But at least for right now, you just fucking piss on yourself. You know why? Because you found a way to adapt. You found a way to warm yourself up a little bit. You found a way to prevent yourself from quitting in that moment. You found a way to keep yourself focused on the task at hand. And I think society needs more of that. People always bring up, I've always found this to be a very ridiculous trope. It is the high school sports star who peaks at age 17. And it just seems like such contrived bullshit to me, because to be a high school sports star means, giving up all of, your time and your effort and your energy, and applying this great focus to your sport, to your craft, right? So if you're a 16-year-old kid and you're spending your summer vacation getting up at 5, 6 a.m. to go out and run fucking wind sprints in the heat and humidity so that you can get ready for a game that you're going to be playing in October, that's a kid who's getting the right life skills. He's building a great fucking base for himself. I've always been quite tickled and entertained at the thought of the high school jock who is the star of the football team now, but just you wait a few years. Like all of that work ethic that he's developed since he learned how to fucking crawl is just going to disappear. And of course, everyone knows the anecdotal story about, I know one who got a fucking DUI, bro. He was dealing. Of course, a guy I played against in a state final. I think my sophomore year. He was the quarterback for the other team. Wound up. I think he was dealing drugs and in a lot of trouble up in Boston, and then wound up dying of an overdose. So of course, yes, it does happen. But I think that ability to quit tomorrow is something that really, really needs to be impressed upon Americans, because we have become just a nation of fucking softies. And on that note, what I wanted to wrap up with today was, do not fucking tell me who to vote for. Justin Amash is he's a representative from Michigan, and he announced this week that he was going to be exploring a Libertarian presidential bid, which prompted former Senator Claire McCaskill to say, "We do not have room for error in this election." Here's the thing. Suck my fucking dick, lady. I do not have to goose step along with this fucking line that, the fate of the nation depends on Joe Biden defeating Donald Trump. Like, first of all, you have a very legitimate debate as to who would be a better or worse president, Trump or Biden. It's, this idea that just because Trump is a fucking foul mouth and he's a Republican, just because the Democrats get someone who they say, he's a nice guy, he's gonna fucking, his VP pick is gonna be a fucking a woman of color, whatever fucking bullshit they fucking spout out there. Like, I don't fucking that doesn't necessarily make him morally superior to Trump. Apparently they're both fucking pussy grabbers. I remember when that fucking Trump tape came out and CNN made everyone think that that Trump was bragging about committing a sexual assault, and then you go and you listen to the entire thing and it's actually him roasting and making fun of himself. And now fucking Biden apparently grabbed a pussy when he was I guess where the fuck was he? It was some chick from like some sort of staffer. I guess he was a senator. He grabbed some snatch, but they're like, oh no, he couldn't have because she would have had to spread her legs for him. So just honestly, eat my ass. Like, I'm gonna vote for the freedom people. I don't need to accept your fucking binary choice bullshit. I'm going to vote. My values align with the values of the Libertarian Party. I believe in individual freedom, the right to keep and bear arms, free speech, woman's right to choose, all free association, all of these things that the LP stands for. So, there's going to be vigorous debate, I would assume, between Amash and I think Jacob Hornberger is the other guy, and whoever the Libertarians nominate will likely get my vote because those are the things that I value, and that's what I want out of a fucking presidential candidate. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you're going to skew the election. You idiot. You're selfish to do. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm going to use my vote as I want my vote to be used. Like, I don't need to play your bullshit little game. Seriously, suck my fucking ass. And I think, is that it? That is it for today. I'm gonna go outside because it is 70. I went for I did hill sprints and seal push-ups this morning. I did 100 alternating seal push-ups and pike push-ups. So I'm feeling fucking groovy. And then I had some breakfast tacos, which were delightful. But Facebook.com/The Savage Crew. Twitter @Mike Montone, Instagram @Gary_Moyler, MOYLER, and I will catch you beautiful motherfuckers next week. I'm glad I'm getting back into the groove of doing these shows. Seriously, get outside and enjoy the nice weather. Your body will thank you. Adios.